Let's look at how StrataTree uses Strata Mapping to transform a typical backlog into an actionable plan for people who care about outcomes, not just tickets. This Jira backlog represents mobile ordering for a local coffee shop. It has 3 epics, decomposed into stories using a common story mapping approach. At first glance, it looks organized, but can you see the critical path, the smallest set of stories needed to deliver useful functionality in the first release? First, we'll download the backlog into StrataTree so we can see its structure. StrataTree brings in the project, the 3 epics, and the stories under each one. The stories may be prioritized inside each epic, but the structure still does not show what is essential, what can wait, or how the pieces fit together as a user workflow. Now we'll turn this into a strata map. We start by creating a real user, the customer. Then we create a feature, mobile ordering, that helps the customer accomplish something valuable, ordering from the coffee shop. In Strata Mapping, a feature is an aggregate of functionality that solves a user's problem by taking them through a workflow. Next, we define the major steps in that workflow, select a store, create an order from available items, and complete the order for pickup or delivery. With the structure in place, we move the existing stories under the appropriate steps. StrataTree lets you drag and drop one or multiple stories, move them between steps or features, and even copy and paste between maps in different browser windows. Once the stories are organized, we delete the placeholder structure created during the import. Now we have a basic strata map for mobile ordering. Next, we plan the first release. We create release V1 and assign it to the current story. Once releases are assigned, unassigned stories move below the release boundary, making it easier to see what is in scope. Then we review the story order under each step. This order differs from the original backlog because we are now sequencing work by workflow, not by epic. Now we separate the must-have stories from the optional ones using the MMF attribute. Stories above the MMF line are on the critical path to release. Stories below it can wait until later in the release or move to a future release. Removing just a few lower priority stories can have a meaningful impact on time to delivery. Now it's time to upload. StrataTree can upload back into your project. It can also transfer projects between Jira and Azure DevOps in either direction. Here we upload this Strata map as a new Azure DevOps project. StrataTree shows exactly what changed and what will be uploaded. After the upload finishes, we refresh Azure DevOps, select the new project, and examine the backlog StrataTree created. In the backlog items view, stories are prioritized by row, then column under the feature's Strata map, with MMF stories first. The MMF attribute is also saved as a tag so you can filter by MMF stories in a specific release. We can also view the backlog hierarchically by feature, with the Strata map structure reflected directly in Azure DevOps. But the order of the stories in the backlog items view is the optimal implementation order and isn't bound by the hierarchy. That is the power of Strata Mapping, turning a typical backlog that looks well organized into an optimized, actionable release plan. We built StrataTree to bring Strata Mapping out of the war rooms of the Fortune 100 and into the hands of the product owners, project managers, and product managers who plan and lead project and releases. Download the Explorer tier today and try it free for 30 days with your own Jira or Azure DevOps backlog.